Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here today to talk about Your Honor, a new series that I will be reviewing. I looked at all the stuff coming out. I thought, okay, I'll review this. It's got Bryan Cranston. It's got the guy from Fargo Season 3 and A Serious Man. And so I was excited. It had a really interesting story, a really interesting premise, I should say. But also, I guess it turns out there's already two versions of this show. So this is the, American version. So yeah, it's very interesting because I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's basically about this kid, and he's having a problem. He's having, I guess, anxiety, and he's having an asthma attack, and he can't get his inhaler, and then he accidentally runs over, I guess you'd say, and kills this other kid, and this other kid is the son of the most powerful gangster in the whole state or city, whatever. And it's basically going to be all about the kid's father, who's a judge, trying to help him, period, because it's a terrible situation. I mean, they just keep on piling on and piling on and piling on. Oh, first that goes wrong. Then that goes wrong. Then that goes wrong. Then that goes wrong. It's like it's so like, oh God, I'm glad it's not me. It's like a never-ending like tragedy. And then you have the fact that you got like Bryan Cranston, and I do not just know him from Breaking Bad. I also know him from Malcolm in the Middle. So, I'm so happy to see yet another series with him in it. He's a really good actor, and like anything he's in, really, like he's just so engaging to watch, and he really, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like if a series has him or if a movie has him, it automatically boosts the quality of that movie or TV show by like 10%. But anyways, with this episode, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I thought it was pretty good. It had some issues. I would say I had like two flaws, and that's it. First off, I'm having trouble kind of seeing what the series potential is. And what I mean by that is, like with Breaking Bad, it started out where he's a teacher, and he's going to have to build his way up to being a kingpin in the drug world. But then in this show, it seems like there's this one story about his son, and then after that, the series would just end. And to me, I think that that's a little bit of a flaw, because when I think of like a good series premiere, I think of like an episode that sets up a world where like unlimited possibilities are. But in this, it felt more like a limited series type of a show. Like, to be honest, I was kind of surprised that it wasn't a limited series. And, I'm one of those people who complains about that. Complains about, oh, why is this show so short? Why is this series so short? Why is this movie so short? But with this, I guess it's kind of confusing, like, where the series could go after the whole ordeal with his son is over. Because, I don't know, like, this episode went really fast, too. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I was thinking about that, like, the whole episode, even though I was enjoying what I was watching. And my second flaw is everything was very over-exaggerated and very unrealistic. For a show that's, trying to be real, it had a lot of unrealistic moments. I guess spoilers. At the end of the episode, basically the gangsters are back at the crime scene where his son got killed, and there's an inhaler there. That kid left his inhaler there. But the thing is that, why didn't the police pick that up? I mean, it's literally right there at the crime scene. What is it? Just it's just what? There were several moments like that throughout this episode. Also, several like very WTF moments. Moments where I was just going like, oh God, these guys are effed. They're so effed. Like the dad, he's putting his fingerprints all over everything. He's throwing out evidence. Like, it's really, really bad. And for them, I mean, and it just felt like, and then the most over-exaggerated part was the part where the actual crime happens, because it's so, like, it just feels very unreal. It feels very fantasy-like or parody-like, because the kid, he's having an asthma attack, and I'm sorry, but if I'm having an asthma attack, I'm getting my effing inhaler and taking medicine so that I can, hopefully help the person out better whom I hit. I'm not just going to get out of my car immediately. I'm going to grab my inhaler and then get out of the car. But this guy, he gets out of his car, he's still having an asthma attack, and then he goes up to the kid's trying to say something, and then he puts his ear next to him and he starts saying please, I think, and then he spits out blood, and then it gets even more over exaggerated, because then he puts his fingers in the kid's mouth and he's like trying to get the blood out with his fingers, and so he's putting his DNA in the kid's mouth. And then after that, if that's not all, he starts giving him the breathing thing, CPR, whatever you call it, the French kissing thing from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and it was just so over exaggerated, and like it was so like just over the top. It just took me out of it a little bit. Like you could have scaled that back a little bit, because it was really over the top. And so, but other than that, I really didn't have problems with the show. I think that, once again, it has a great world, a great, like, setting. I think it's Louisiana, and it, great setting, and I love Bryan Cranston. He's doing pretty good in this episode. I mean, I think that he'll get better with better scenes, but most of this episode is just focused on this stupid kid just effing up and effing up and effing up with this crime that he committed. I mean, he constantly just makes me just question, like, is this really like, I don't know, it just felt so, I don't know, it was just something about it. It was like, this kid, is this just for, like, created drama, or is this really this kid's character? He's that dumb. Like, is he really that dumb, this character? Because I have a feeling that I'm not going to like him by the end of this season. Because, to be honest, already I was kind of wanting him to, get caught. Because he just, the fact that, his first, all of his decisions just constantly made me, like, just scratch my head. I'm scratching my head while I'm doing the review. But overall, I would say I enjoyed it, because I thought that the performances were good. I thought that it was an entertaining show. I thought it was engaging. And I am looking forward to the next episodes. I mean, it's not like Fargo where, I just effing hated that. season, and I just wanted it to end. With this, I'm excited, but once again, those two flaws really stick out to me. I hope the show doesn't continue to be really unrealistic and over-exaggerated, because it really pulls you out, because it's such a weird contrast where you have a show that's, set in the real world, quote unquote, but it's so over exaggerated that it just feels like, and the music is very realistic and dramatic and stuff, but the plot itself and the stuff that's actually happening, it feels so fantastical and so unreal. But I am excited, once again. I mean, especially to see more of the guy from Fargo Season 3 and A Serious Man. Because in those things that I saw him in, he basically played the same character. He played a weak little bitch man, and he was just like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh my god. And in this show, it feels like he's gonna be a really good villain, because the first time we see him, he looks exactly like Michael from GTA 5, and so he immediately gave off this different vibe. And, I can see that he's a great actor, because he is not like he is in those other things that I saw him in. And so I'm really excited to see him in this series for the most part. Even more so than Bryan Cranston, I would say. But yeah, I would rate this episode a B. Just a straight up B. I think that it was a good episode of television. I don't think it's one of the best episodes I've ever seen. I don't think it's one of the worst episodes I've ever seen. Sometimes stuff is just good. It's not great and it's not bad. It's just good. And so, yeah, other than that, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that crap the YouTubers tell you to do. And please, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me, I don't care. I'd love to have the discussion, because I was fully engaged. I wasn't even looking at my phone. I mean, I was fully engaged, just my eyes were glued to this show, and I enjoyed it, but it just left a very unreal taste in my mouth. Like with shows like Breaking Bad, even Malcolm in the Middle, it felt real. But with this show, it felt kind of fake, manufactured, artificial, especially the thing at the end. And I did like the music, though, at the end. They were playing that opera scene from Shawshank Redemption, and it was kind of dark. I mean, it's kind of darkly funny too. It's got like this dark humor, because obviously the implication is that, like, you look at this guy, the son, and you can tell that if he goes to prison, he's not going to have a good time in prison. And so it really, like, they have the potential for a really good series, or I mean season, whatever you'd say. But yeah, we'll see if it gets better. And yeah, if you check out all the other videos coming up, all of our list videos, rewatch the Fargo videos if you like those, anything. And goodbye, everybody.